Welcome back to Cloud 2K, and this is the Cloud Report. It is a very, very sad day in NBA fandom. Shams Charania posted earlier this morning, Lakers star LeBron James is expected to miss at least 1 to 2 weeks with a groin strain, source tell ESPN. James will wait for the groin injury to calm down over the next 24 hours and receive another evaluation. So hopefully by tonight, by Monday morning, we have a better idea of how long LeBron will be out. But this is coming at a really, really bad time for the Lakers. They were just on an 8-game win streak going into their matchup last night against the Boston Celtics. They obviously lose that game, and now they also lose LeBron James for probably at least 1 to 2 weeks, maybe more, hopefully less. You know, it does suck. They finally got up to the 2 seed, and obviously they lost that to the Denver Nuggets, I believe. I don't know, things have just been rolling for the Lakers so well since the Luka Dončić trade, which makes sense. You know, you get Luka. The first couple of games, they were trying to figure it out, and it seems like they really figured it out, got on a roll, beat the Clippers twice, beat the Nuggets. They beat some good teams. Now, Boston was definitely the best team they faced since then, and they lose the game, which is what it is. Boston's probably the second, the best team in the league. So them losing doesn't really mean much. They had a little bit of a fake comeback in which LeBron James got injured in. I'm just really curious what the Lakers look like from here. If we take a look at the Lakers schedule, tomorrow night, Monday night, they play the Nets. Then they have the Nuggets, the Spurs, the Bucks, the Magic, the Bulls, the Rockets, the Pelicans. That's all the way up until April 4th. That's the kind of like the 2 to 3 week span that LeBron potentially could miss. The Nets aren't a very good team, but they're able to fight with a lot of teams, so that can be a scary game. The Nuggets, obviously, the Lakers and the Nuggets have their history. The Spurs without Vic, I don't know how much that's going to be tough for them. The Bucks, Giannis and Dame, always a formidable duo. The Magic have been skidding so bad, so I don't really know what that looks like. The Bulls are bad. The Rockets have been skidding too, but still have a pretty good team. The Pelicans are really, really bad. And then April 8th, the Thunder. I assume LeBron will be back at least by that Thunder game. Of course, as long as everything goes to plan. Now, that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games I give them at the absolute max. I think he misses. They need to go at least 5-3 in the span. You cannot lose all the ground you made up, getting yourself from basically the 6th seed up to the 2 seed in the past couple weeks, month or so. You cannot give that up. And again, I get it. LeBron James has very, very low-key been playing like an MVP candidate recently. And yeah, I know that sounds absolutely nuts, but I'm going to pull up, watch this. We'll pull up LeBron James, and I know obviously stats don't mean everything, but I'm watching these games too, so I can back this up with the eye test. He's having a phenomenal season. He's averaging 25 points, 8 rebounds, 8.5 assists on 51% from the floor, 38% from the three-point line. LeBron James these past couple years has turned into a very, very good knockdown three-point shooter, off the dribble, catch and shoot. You know, one of the things early in LeBron's career that people were kind of up and down on was like his ability to shoot the ball. He was a downhill. He got to the basket. He's now, again, the past 2 to 3 years became a really, really good three-point shooter. I just am curious what this Lakers team is going to look at, like without LeBron James. It's going to be Luka. You have Austin Reaves. I know he's been dealing with his injuries. He just came back from injury against the Knicks, and it's not looked great. Has not looked super, super great since his return, but it's only been 2 games. He looked better in this Boston game than he did in the New York game, obviously. I think this Lakers team has enough to stay afloat between Luka and Austin Reaves in the backcourt. Rui, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt, Jaxson Hayes is hopefully going to be back. Like, this team, Gabe Vince has been playing pretty well. This Lakers team is still a good team. Obviously, without LeBron James, you're going to, a top 10 to 15 player in the league this season. I would say he's been playing like that. Probably top 10 he's been playing like. It's going to be tough. The Lakers very much can, and I think will, stay afloat. The thing I'm really more worried about is how this affects LeBron James going down the line. This man's 40 years old. And a 40-year-old with a groin injury is definitely going to matter, because if you look at Paul George has been dealing with a groin injury for a couple years now, and every year consistently there's always a few games you're going to look at Paul George not playing, groin injury or groin soreness or something along those lines. The groin is something, obviously, as a basketball player, you use a lot. You're running, you're jumping, you're moving around. That's something that can get strained very, very easily. So I'm curious how this is going to affect LeBron defensively, he's been good defensively, I'd say, recently. I know JJ Redick came out and said he was playing all defensive level defense. Maybe we're getting a little too carried away, but he's been really, really good defensively recently. Like I said, shooting the ball well, driving to the basket. I'm really curious to see how this affects LeBron James coming back, because while I don't know if I'm buying into the Lakers being contenders this year, because I do still think they have a few holes in their roster. Obviously, the center spot, even though shout out Jaxson Hayes, he's been one of the better defending centers since the Luka trade. Like, he's been really good, actually. Well, I guess for Jaxson Hayes standards, he's been really good, I should say. But that's still, come playoff time, a hole, because they're going to have to go against a Sengun, a Jokic, a Chet Neihart. Like, they're going to have to go against these really, really good centers. And again, as well as Jaxson Hayes is playing right now, in a 7-game series, I don't know if he holds up for those 7 games for them to win that series. But when you have a Luka Dončić-led offense, you saw what he did with Daniel Gafford. You saw what he did with Derek Lively. Even Dwight Powell for a short amount of time. Like, he gets these centers to play above their means. Obviously, Gafford and Lively are much better centers than a Dwight Powell, so I don't want to disrespect them at all. But you get what I mean. Like, he runs that high pick and roll. He gets these centers involved way more, making it easier for him with lobs and stuff like that. And he's been doing the same thing with Jaxson Hayes. I don't expect that to be any different. Now, of course, you don't have the attention of LeBron James on the court now, so that's going to bring more bodies to Luka, who is still trying to figure out the 3-ball. It has not been falling since he's got to LA, but I'm not worried about that. It's gonna work itself out. It's gonna fix it. I am just curious with the Rui injury, because JJ Redick said that he was in his return to play protocol or whatever that was, but we probably won't know for another week or so until he's back. So that is 2 of our bigger wings off the court. There's a lot of offense being put off the court now. The Lakers obviously garner a lot of national attention. They just had the whole thing with LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith like going on the first take the next morning, talking about the way he was talking about Bronny. I don't know. There's that whole thing. It's just everything seems to have been going right for this Lakers these past 8 to 10 games, that I really, really hope that this LeBron injury doesn't derail the season and throw them off. Now, when you look at the playoff standings, I still think they have a very good chance against most teams below them. I would still take them probably against a lot of teams. Like I said, right now, they are the 3 seed, which would mean in the first round, they will go against, if it stays like it is today, they will go against the Warriors. Now, that's a tough matchup. You're assuming LeBron's going to be back for that. So Luka, Austin Reaves, Rui, LeBron, Jaxson Hayes. I think the Warriors have been, 11-1 since they got Jimmy Butler. They're really good. They made their way pretty much from out of the bottom of the play-in to now in the playoffs at the 6th seed right now. I would still probably take the Lakers. I think Luka and LeBron are just the better players right now than Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. I think neither one of these teams have a great supporting cast, but I do think Austin Reaves is the better third option compared to a Draymond Green in this scenario. At that point in time, you got to look at like the Grizzlies, the Rockets. I just think the Lakers are better teams. The Rockets are a good team, but they just can't really... They don't really have that guy. I don't know if I believe in Alperen Sengun like that. The Grizzlies, kind of the same thing. Jaren's been really, really good this year, but they've been struggling as of recently, 3-7 in their last 10 games. I think the only 2 real threats to the Lakers in this Western Conference are the Thunder and the Nuggets. The Nuggets and Jokic just do it to them every year, the past couple of years. That you always have to be kind of worried about that as a Lakers fan. The Thunder are the best team in the league. And again, I know they only made it to the second round last year. Then they lost to Luka and the Mavericks. But we have to give them respect of that good of a team. Now, if you don't want to give them the respect that they can beat the Lakers yet because they haven't made a deep playoff run, I can understand what you mean. And Luka beat them last year, even though Shea had a really, really good series. This Thunder roster, top to bottom, is just better. Now, obviously, Luka and LeBron are... You're probably looking at this season. I'll say this season because I think Luka's the better player than Shea. But this season, Shea is going to be the best player in that series. But then you have Luka, then you probably have LeBron, then you get down to like J-Dub, Chet Holmgren. You kind of move there. I think it's like the Thunder have 1 and then 3 through whatever. Or 1 and then 4 through whatever. Because 2 and 3, LeBron and Luka. Where does Austin Reaves fall in that mix? I'm sure he's probably top 6 or 7 players in that series. So the Thunder and the Nuggets are really only teams I'm worried about, and they wouldn't see them until after the first round. Now, again, the biggest thing is about how is LeBron going to come back. Again, having one of his best seasons in a long time, and I'm genuinely, groin injuries are lingering injuries, and I'm genuinely worried about how he comes back. But again, it's LeBron. He's superhuman, so I could look back on this video in 3 weeks, and LeBron's back on the court, 30-point triple-double, killing it, and this is all for nothing.